mean, I got the green box. I think we live. I think people looking at us. I don't think. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't
Man,
think.
we are back. Welcome back.
Oh. Already? Sir, you got to let me know these things.
I'm hyped.
I
We
mean,
got a green dot. I haven't seen a green dot. We take a little family emergency vacation. I was out here.
man,
The sun was beating on me.
I might have to take me a haircut emergency vacation. You know,
Hey, me too. Do you see this? What is going on, man? We were looking good at the start. The show was stressing us.
sir,
We
we
gotta
look.
get it back together.
Anyways, you gonna tell the people what they watching, or we gonna keep talking about our
Of
nappy
course,
hairs?
of course. You are not just watching two nappy brothers do their thing. You
Sir,
are
stop it.
watching Three Dream Sports coming at you, man. You got your boy here.
I mean, Derek, he don't even know his name. Derek
Yeah.
Martin. He's so
You got
excited for
your boy.
football season.
Stop it.
You
You got your
know,
boy D Martin here, living the life here in Florida. Can't wait for the football.
okay.
Who we got over there? Is that you,
I mean,
James?
I'm looking like I just done escaped from somewhere, with this
Yeah, I
nappy
couldn't
hair.
even recognize you. That's
But
why I said, who we got over there? I couldn't even.
I
How
mean,
you doing?
I'm doing good. You got James Kern over here out in the great state of Colorado. We don't got as much sun as Derek does out there. But welcome back. We missed y'all. We need y'all back in our lives. We finally got everything together. Finally got lives done calmed down. We done got everybody happy again. And we ready to get back on this, get back to talking sports with y'all. So where we gonna start? I mean, everything's
Well,
happening this weekend.
I mean, I'm excited. What part do you want to start on? We got college coming up, and we NFL. Where do you want to kick off first? Where do you want to go?
Well, how about this? How about we start with every non-athletic person's favorite thing in the world, fantasy football. You know, for your couch GMs, your couch coaches, your couch quarterbacks. Let's go ahead and get into that. Let's see, what do we got? I know you've done a couple of drafts, so tell us,
Yes.
how are they going? What do you see? What are you noticing? Let's get our fans some information, so that way they don't look like the guy who doesn't know what he's doing.
Okay. For our owners who haven't done any mock drafts or haven't done a real draft yet, and they're curious about Le'Veon Bell, stop. In every draft I've done, mock-wise and in my real drafts, Le'Veon Bell has been off the board in the top 5 picks. Um, to me, it's a little risky. Actually, really risky. This is coming off of the ESPN Fantasy Football app. This is Wednesday, August 29th, 10:01. Right here. Bell denies any report that he told teammates he will rejoin Steelers on Monday. Jason Owens of Yahoo Sports reports. I
Okay.
mean, this is coming from him, so that's pretty concerning.
Well, I mean, if you follow this situation from the beginning, if you're new to it, this has been going on for a while. I mean, look at the contract. They tried to nickel and dime him by $1 million when you can clearly work that into like you show up for workouts or something like that. You can spread that million out. You don't have to be like, hey man, here you go. Like you can work something out. And I think that has something to do with it. I feel like Bell's like, hey man, without me, your offense isn't the same. I provide that. I bring the corners, the safeties, everybody to the line. Without me, does Ben Roethlisberger still have the time to play? To do what he does? Now, am I going to say that's going to prevent Antonio Brown from getting his? I doubt it. I mean, I feel like you could have all 11 players covering Antonio, and he's still going to figure out a way to make his money.
Absolutely.
But you need a running back. You need that running back to, I don't know, maybe soften up the defense, keep your linemen engaged. Because if I'm a lineman and all I'm doing is pass protecting, that's not fun to me. I want to get in there and get my hands dirty. I want to push somebody around. So that could be an issue. As far as what I've been seeing in some of the mock drafts I've been doing, I've noticed the same thing. People are still risking the biscuit for Bell, taking him in the top 5. But I've also noticed a rash of people taking people who got paid. For example, I've noticed a lot of people are high on Kirk Cousins now that he's got his fully guaranteed contract. Am I going to take Kirk Cousins early? No, because I feel like you can get you a serviceable quarterback in the later rounds. You maybe pick up Taylor. He's not going to wow you. He's not going to give you Aaron Rodgers 40 points a game, but he's not going to give you negative points. He's going to keep you in the game. So I've noticed now that Odell has signed his contract. Big ups to your Giants, man. Finally getting paid. They finally broke the bank.
Come on, man.
I believe, as it said, the kids say today they put some spec on his name. I've noticed after that contract, Odell's been getting picked a lot higher. I've seen him go 1-2 in a lot of the drafts. Not knocking him, not taking anything away from Odell's talent. Not saying that's a bad pick. But just remember, owners, let's not fall into the love of this guy just got paid, now he's going to ball out. It might, because we've all seen it, guy gets paid, what does he do? Takes a couple years off, But I'm not saying Odell's a bad pick, going 1 or 2.
Yeah,
but
I don't. Here's the thing: as a Giants fan, Odell fan, I'm not going to go with him with the first pick. Honestly, I personally have him ranked around the, anywhere from like 5th, 6th, and after that in the first round. I think that's a good market for him. In my opinion, if Gurley's out there, you got to take Gurley. He's been reliable, so. Yeah, I agree. That's a little bit of a reach, in my opinion, to get Odell. And I'm a huge Odell fan. So here's what I want to know from you, James. Who are some sleepers, or who is a sleeper, owners can go for and count on in the later rounds?
So if I'm thinking sleepers or somebody that I can pick up in the later rounds, maybe somebody doesn't know a lot about, I'm going to go with Alex Collins, the running back from Baltimore. For me, I feel like that's a safe late round pick if you need a running back right away. You haven't gotten anybody. He's shown that he can produce. Even I know it's Baltimore. Every other season you never know what you're going to get, but I feel like you can pick him up and get good value on him. As far as receivers go, I don't know if you can really call him a sleeper or however you want to look at it, but I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley. If you need a receiver, we talked about this earlier, if you need a receiver who's going to get you flex points or however your league set up, slot, or, whatever extra spot you got, I feel like you could pick him up in the later rounds. He's shown in preseason that he's a silky smooth route runner. He can do big things. He can get you the points. He can get you what you need. That's kind of like my big 2 right there.
Let me throw someone at you
okay.
that I wouldn't call necessarily a sleeper, but because of the way the pieces fell, I was able to grab this guy, and to me, it was awesome. So. One of the sleeper, not sleeper guys.
Okay.
Because it's kind of disrespectful.
So he's woke as.
I was able to get Mark Ingram in the later rounds. Obviously, people want to stay away from him because he's suspended. But if you have a solid starting lineup that can make it through a month of football, you can plug Mark Ingram into your lineup immediately once he comes back, and you immediately have a dude that can easily get you 10 points a game, and that's pretty big, considering where you're getting him picked up. I'm looking at his numbers from last year, and yeah, on average, this dude's getting at least 15 points a game. Yeah, he had 3 30-point games. I'm sorry, multiple 20-point games. He had 3 games where he didn't break double digits, So if you have a chance to get Mark Ingram late, you definitely want to consider that. That's awesome. That's someone I feel like you definitely should keep your eye out on.
I feel like I agree with you. He's a sleeper, not sleeper. The 4 games, like you said, if you can make it through a month, you're good to go. He's going to come back and get his with Kamara, which For the fantasy owners out there, if you're looking for a good handcuff, somebody that you want to draft from the same team, uh, how do you feel about Kamara and Ingram if you could get them both?
You know, that was actually my situation. I ended up getting Kamara early. Um, and, and I looked at it as, how can I pass this up?
Okay.
I, Kamara's going to come in. I see him being the running back who they're going to do the same thing they did last year. He's going to get he's going to get the opportunity to run the ball, just like last year. But the difference is all those pass plays they want to use him. That's going to be him. Those are going to go to him. And he killed it last year. I don't see that changing, as far as who it's going to go to. They're high on him. He's going to get the shine early on, obviously, because Ingram's gone for a month. But then, if you could plug Ingram back into your lineup, I mean, wow, you're talking about something real serious there, where you got Kamara, who's going to be doing his thing, and like I just told you, Ingram averaged 15 points, so man, that could be special. So I think it's definitely something you got to consider if Ingram's there later on. Now, if someone reaches, God bless your soul. I'm not telling you to reach and get this dude.
No, sir.
Second, third round, and you still got key players. This is, later on, and you're looking at your starting lineup, and you're sitting here saying, okay, I can make this move and live with it. Moving on a little bit, staying in football, people are getting paid, my man.
Everybody
people
but
are
us.
getting paid.
I mean, when's our
let's
turn?
look at this. We got Odell, like you said. A-Rod. Donald. Which contract do you, or which player, what do you like the most getting paid? Like, who, if you're an owner, you're like, you know what? I am going to lock this. I have to lock him down. My team absolutely needs him. And obviously, all three of those players got the money they did because they're franchise dudes. But who are you locking up right now?
For me, it has to be the quarterback. Just because if you have a decent quarterback, if you have a star quarterback, a franchise quarterback, he can make anybody look halfway decent. Like with A-Rod, I mean Aaron Rodgers, he can make a he can make me look like an all-pro receiver if I can just catch the ball. I mean, you have to lock up somebody who's going to touch the ball, who's going pretty much in charge of the offense while you're out there. He can do the man's just A-Rod. I'm locking him up first. The second in that order, you got to go with Odell. I mean, anybody on the offensive side of the ball that can help you make your life easier, you got to lock them up. Now, what I'm curious about is, how do you feel about Aaron Donald actually getting paid more than A-Rod in his contract? Is that a sign that defense is making a comeback, or is it that the sign that it's just a fluke?
Well, here's the thing. Hang on. I'll get to that real quick. Jeremy Wood says to us, he feels like everyone was waiting for Odell to get signed to feed off his contract. Who's next? I responded to him. I feel like A-Rod's contract changed the game. With that being said, I don't know if people are really waiting on Odell, because here's the thing. When it comes to A-Rod, I don't think the wide receiver market, yeah, it just did go up, but it's not catching the quarterback market. So I don't know necessarily how much that impacted Green Bay on what they want to offer. I think Green Bay's contract was more about how they can move money around and get the number. So, I mean, they don't take that big hit like they are. I mean, I think, what is it, like $1 million, extra $1 million on top of their cap this year that they're taking off of that, I think it was.
So for the fans out there, if you go to Everything Sports, we posted a link that talks about this story. Like Derek Martin said, it only goes up by $1 million, but the way the Packers structured the contract is they worked in the last 2 years of the deal he's on now, so it's spread over 6. So smart money move. They went to college for this stuff. They're doing big things with that. So it was smart to do it like that. But to only have a cap hit increase of $1 million, I
Right.
mean, why not do it? Why not say?
Yeah.
Why not give the man the money? Why not bring, as Isaiah Thomas once said, bring the Brinks truck. You know,
Now, to answer your question about the Donald. Oh man, that Donald money. That's another situation that's hard because okay, they added all these guys, right? Sue, you got every DB that's freaking a Pro Bowler now coming to the Los Angeles area. They're trying to build this team up, right? I feel like it might have been devastating to lose the heart of your defense. The dude that's been there the last few years, just, being that guy. Not saying that this defense won't be the same without him, but man, I feel like it would have been a blow not to lock him up. But if you remember early on, I said I feel like this deal has a way better chance of getting done than the Khalil Mack. The Raiders haven't even reached out to him. Now, as far as him making the more money than A-Rod, it's a little shocking, but here's the deal. I feel like the Rams are also onto something with their contracts. This is just, I haven't seen anything. This is just me, putting my GM hat in. It's something I can see happening, right? I think, so they locked Gurley in this season earlier, or this offseason earlier. They locked him in. So they ain't got to worry about that. Now we got this Donald contract that's taken care of. Sue, we got to pay him, or he got his money coming in. That's another big contract. Peters, you got to get paid, or he's getting paid. Now, eventually, what I see happening, I feel like one of these dudes or two of them are going to get moved again. I think someone will, depending, win, lose, I don't know. I could see someone in the next couple of years getting traded to free the money up because shortly after, you got Goff. You got to pay your quarterback, right? So, I don't know. I think it is surprising that he's making more than Aaron Rodgers as far as contract numbers wise, but I think it's all part of the plan to lock him in, and I think they're going to move guys as well. I think this is kind of like a 3-year plan, if you will, and then, hey, it didn't work. Let's get rid of some guys. Let's get younger.
So now that we're talking about defensive guys finally getting paid and all that other stuff, do you think this sets the Raiders back if they were even going to send Khalil a text message? You feel like he's going to come back with, "I want 140 million." Just like 140 million, and then we'll talk. Because,
well, I feel like this kind of was the man. Both teams were in a situation where I feel like they were going to screw the other team no matter who got the contract done. Because now there's a set standard, right, for where the defensive player market is, in a sense, if Donald's getting paid this, and Mac believes it, and he's got his own supporting cast. That believe he's the best defensive player out there.
well,
So if this dude's getting paid this, there's a good chance Mac asks for more.
Well, see, here's the thing. I feel like this is if the fans want to correct me, I feel like this is the first time we've seen a defensive player get quarterback money. In that sense of you're in the 100 million,
Right.
you've reset the market for everybody, and that's surprising because a lot of the stories I've been reading is the league's going towards the offense now, But for Donald to do this, I feel like it evens it out now. It brings back the respect that defensive players should be getting. If you got Khalil Mack on anybody's team, that team's at least 2 wins better with him on the team.
Right.
So this is going to be interesting because I want to see who's up next. I want to see what defensive players up next, and if they use this as as a bargaining chip, saying, "Hey, we're getting quarterback money now. How does this affect the cornerback market?" Because for me, if you have decent corners, you're good to go. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, let's see. We got through who got paid. Who's
Well, I'm trying to see. Try because I want to say J.J. Watt broke that too. I don't want to say when he got paid it went over. Yeah, it was J.J. Watt that did it first. J.J. Watt, he went at 100 million and a little over, but no one.
well,
No one's even close to the Donald one, though. He's at 100, and then Donald hits 135. Third place is Hunter in Minnesota with 72. So, I mean, them two are in a world of their own. You know, like, they're just making their own. But, yeah, J.J. Watt did make the money first, and then Donald took off and ran. I mean...
well, I mean, if we excuse me, I mean, looking at the cornerback market, just to give a little comparison, Josh Norman's making 75 million.
Yeah.
So for a D tackle to make 21 more, like just make a lot more money, I think that's going to upset the defensive market. That's going to make it harder for teams to sign players to team-friendly contracts. Because I feel like a lot of defensive players end up on like that team-friendly contract because they know they're not going to get any more. So hey, go ahead.
With the contracts, were you okay with Odell's numbers?
Are the 5 years 95 million, or like I haven't seen the actual breakdown, but I'm
Yeah, it's 5 years, 95. I want to say 65 guaranteed.
I'm fine with that. I'm okay with it because I'm gonna like let all that Josh Norman stuff go when he tried to kill my man. My man was out there just playing good, solid defense. Out there just enjoying life, and then Odell tried to kill him. I'm gonna let all that go.
Oh, he's just enjoying life, huh? Wow.
But Odell is I feel like you can say Odell is a generational player. Like Odell is going to be this generation's Jerry Rice. And if you have a chance to keep a player like that, you got to pay the man, just like what Green Bay did with A-Rod.
Yeah.
Just like what Pittsburgh should do with Bell. Like they should pay him. They should pay the man. I mean, if Gurley can get paid now, this is for the fans to decide who's better, Gurley or Bell. But for Gurley to get paid before Bell, I feel like that's disrespectful to Bell. Because I feel like he's been doing it longer. He's shown he's good. He minus the Cincinnati games where they blow out both of his knees. But Bell should be getting paid. Bell's a generational player. He should get that money.
Absolutely.
So that's how I feel about that.
It's tough. Here's what the NFL needs to do. They just need to step up because we eliminate this whole talk if they say, you know what? Who cares your position? Who cares? If you're an elite player, here's elite player money. If you're a mid-level player, here's mid-level. And if you're lower, here's lower. We've seen it in the NBA, and I feel like it works a lot more smoother as far as when it comes to contracts. Steph Curry doesn't have to look and say, oh, well, look, Kyrie's making X amount of dollars. James Harden's like this. So you know what? I don't know. Look, I'm an elite player. LeBron's elite. KD's elite. Hey, pay me. I'm doing the same thing. I think you eliminate all that by just saying, okay, you know what? You earned elite money. Now, am I saying there's got to be some control, obviously, but I'm just saying make it fair. I don't think, we, and of course I don't think it would happen, but you don't need to pay your wide receiver right now. You don't got to have his contract match Aaron Rodgers with the way the cap money's set up. You know what I mean? Like.
So can I hop in here real quick? Let me ask you a question.
Absolutely.
So let's say they go to this system. You got your bottom level stars, your mid level stars, and then you got your superstars. Would you allow the player to, like, let's say I started from the bottom, you know, barely make the team, but let's say I sign a 4-year contract. By year two, I'm cons- my stats reflect a mid level player. Would you let me renegotiate, or would you say, hey man,
But see, that's the thing. We've seen that happen right now, even under these contracts, where owners decide to hold on and not take care of the players. And I think that's the key. That's on that's going to be on the owner and how much money they have to play with at that time. I think also plays a big role. And us as fans, sometimes we forget that about the cap when it comes to locking a Odell down. When it comes to locking, um, you know, a superstar guy in. Sometimes it's not that simple because now we're talking big contracts. But oh wait, that's right. Just a little while ago, we paid the quarterback. Oh
okay,
wait, that's right. We just got that quarterback offensive line. So it's hard. It's hard, but I think it'd be a better system still if we just get away from the position battle because, I mean, with that position battle, you're always going to have just what I said, the battle. It's always going to be a battle. Like, okay,
well,
you know what? You just paid Gurley. Like you said, bringing up Le'Veon Bell. But guess what? I've done this for 5 straight years. I'm consistent. Gurley 2 years ago did not do this. He went off, took a year off, come back. I'm not taking time off. I'm going at you. So, I mean, that's tough.
I feel like if we go to that system, it will work. It has a possibility. I think we would have to, like, really iron out the details so that way,
Of course.
if I do outperform my contract, like you allow me to at least talk about moving up to the next tier, or at least we have, okay, something in the contract. Okay, D Martin, you signed a 4-year contract. If you can make your stats reflect a mid-level superstar by year 3, we can come back to the table. I feel like
Fair enough. I think that's fair.
I feel like we would have to work that into the contract so that way the league, the owners, and all that don't try to do what they're doing now, where they shortchange Le'Veon Bell by $1 million. It's like, hey, you said I needed to have these many rushing yards, these many touchdowns. Boom, I got it. Hey, let's come back to the table.
Right.
So I mean, there's that. I feel like that would, for me, that would make it okay. Like I'd sign off on that.
Right. Yeah, I think that definitely would help with the issues. Going forward, man, we about to start regular season. What are you liking? What are you not liking? What's going on? Talk to me.
So I'm gonna say this. I know it's early. We haven't even played a game, but now that the Rams have signed Donald, I'm going ahead and I'm letting the fans know I'm gonna pencil them in as in the paper Super Bowl. Now people are like, what's the paper Super Bowl? This is when we look at the paper, we look at the roster.
You just changed the Super Bowl pick. Wow, I'm done.
Hey, oh, sir, you can't.
You just gonna change your pick like that?
This is the paper Super Bowl. This like the Tecmo Bowl. This is like you got Bo Jackson just running around just doing his thing. You making all your friends mad. This is the paper Super Bowl. You can do that.
Before you answer your Super Bowl, I got Tim Gray here. He got a question for you. Do you think Bell will sit out the whole season if he does not get paid?
Yes. I feel like Bell.
You think he's going to be loyal to that? Take the fines and all that good stuff?
I feel like Bell will sit out the whole season, one, to make the Steelers understand how much they need him. Two, he's going to come back healthy, so when the Steelers try to sign him again, he's like, I haven't been hit for a whole year. I'm healthy. I'm good. I've been finally able to get over these nagging injuries, because with Bell, as good as he is, he always has that nagging injury. Like, he can't get over. He takes this year to recover. He comes back. Boom. I'm a free agent now. Do what I want. Pay me.
Here's the thing. I don't think he sits the whole year. If he does, I think it goes to, I'll give them a month because, like I said, these fines will start to add up. The team's going to be on them just not caring. Okay, you want to get paid, but now you got to pay us. Pay us our money since you don't want to show up.
Well, guess what?
So I think it will add up, and I think he's going to show up. I think I'll give him a month. By week 5, I say he's showing up.
Well, see, you know what you forgot? This man's going to have a GoFundMe page. He's going to have it.
So the fans is going to pay those fines for him.
Hey, he's going to have a GoFundMe page. He's going to get them fines taken care of. You know, the fans going to come out. They're going to try to, I mean, for all you know, Philadelphia fans might be like, hey, man, we got you.
Oh, man.
You
That's
know,
tough.
Patriots fans might chip in too. Bell, you want to sit out the whole season? We got you. Go on vacation. This is on us. But I do honestly think he's going to sit out the whole season. I think he's going to be the first player to actually put his foot down and say, hey, pay me my money. And Aaron Rodgers brought up a great comment, something along your lines. NFL players do not have the bargaining or the bargaining leverage that that NBA players have when it comes to their contracts. Like, everybody has been saying that a lot, that NBA players have the best contract situations when it comes to it. So I'm not going to disagree with that. I think they do too.
Well, I mean, the NFL pretty much makes you a prisoner. You know, when you sign this in, I mean, you don't hear about it. You don't hear about player options like you hear about in the NBA. You never hear about it. You know, you've never heard, you know, Tom Brady sign a contract where it's like, oh, you know what? I'm not liking how it is. I got my player option to redo it, or I don't like my money. Player option, let me get into a new contract like Kevin Durant's doing, where he's making a freaking killing, one off his endorsements, and then getting, obviously, still to us, killer money, you know, pretty much doing these 2-year deals, but with the player option, you know, and then you could just bail. You don't hear that. You know, you're locked in. If you say 5 years, you're giving this team 5 years. So, I mean, it really is. The way they do the contract in the NBA, I feel like, is the way to go. That's what made me bring up the fact of the elite players, your mids, and then, you know, the lower level talent. I think the NFL, when it comes to a lot of things, can, you know, or should mimic the NBA. I think the NBA has this stuff figured out.
Well, I mean, if you, if I'm looking at it, I can understand why the NFL doesn't want player options and stuff like that. Because let's say we'll use Aaron Rodgers. Let's say we say, all right, Aaron, we'll sign you for 6, but you've got the player option in year 3 to just say, I'm done, I'm out, I don't want to do this anymore. That almost, I think that scares the NFL because that would, one, destroy the cap. Like, whatever cap they had, it would destroy it because players would be doing the Kevin Durant thing. And can you constantly afford to pay Aaron Rodgers more and more money? Yeah. So,
I mean, it's tough. It's tough. I don't think it would necessarily kill him, though. I mean, the flip side of that is okay. Obviously, if he uses the player option, backs out, and I'm at my cap, or just a few under, I can't make this dude an offer. You know what I mean? But there will be a team, if that's his end goal, to get the money, which they should at least let the players have that option, right? If his end goal is to get paid, and there's a team such as, for example, a Miami who don't have the most crazy contracts, well, if they're willing to offer this dude money, that should be that player's option, I feel.
That's true. I mean, I guess I'm trying to play the devil's advocate here,
Absolutely.
like show why it's wrong and all that stuff. But I mean, you're right. People are going to spend their money however they want to. The owners are going to spend it. They're going to do what they do.
Because you brought them up, and I don't want to forget, and I want to keep moving. I want to tell you and all these Philly fans, Philadelphia is starting this season 0-1. That's all I want to throw out there. They're not winning this Thursday night game coming up. Just want you to know.
Sir, I need you to press your life alert button real quick. Get you some medical assistance.
They drink hitting me, but no, that's what I'm going with.
Sir, I'm gonna need you. What's it? That's that JR stuff. You better leave it alone.
Listen, no, but I think no, I really that is my prediction for week 1, game 1. Eagles taking this L, man. I don't like the injuries. I think it's just too much against an ATL team that's loaded. I mean, I think that's a lot to deal with when you're injured.
Well, my question for the fans, I don't know if they've been paying attention to Nick Foles in preseason. He hasn't looked like the Super Bowl quarterback. I threw this question out there earlier on the page. Would you trade him now? Would you try to get the value you can? Let's say somebody says, hey, we'll get you a 1 and a 3. You take that, you flip that 3, maybe you talk the Broncos into sending you Paxton Lynch, and that gives you another first-round quarterback to kind of groom, just whatever. Or does Wentz injuries scare you enough to where you hold on to him?
You got one fan that already responded to you, Tim Gray coming out saying they should have already traded him.
Okay.
The flip side to that, though, Tim, is when you say they already should have, when you watch them in the preseason, I don't know if you have caught it, I mean, you ain't really got much behind it. If Wentz can't make it for week 1 and be there to go all season, you're really dead in the water at a quarterback position. I don't see them going after Colin Kaepernick, who probably would be the best quarterback available. I mean, you got to take that into consideration. Are you really going to get something better than Foles, if you do trade him?
Well, I mean,
that's the scary part. I mean, do you just tank for the year to get something to better a different position?
Or not even, but let's look at this situation. Does RG3 stay with the Ravens, or do they let him go and just move Lamar up to number 2? Because if that happens, I'm okay with saying, okay, Foles, I'm going to get me a 1 and a 3, and I'm going to sign RG3.
I can honestly see all 3 of these quarterbacks sticking around in Baltimore. And I think the reason I say this is because I think RG3 can definitely be that example and maybe talk to Jackson about, the importance of sliding. He has that impact. I think you got Flacco here who can, work with him possibly about his arm, be that veteran dude that you want to have coach up your quarterback if he's willing to do it. But all 3 quarterbacks, Joe Flacco is going to get the nod to start, but I don't think they're going to cut any quarterbacks. Obviously Lamar's safe, but I think he's going to be kind of in that red shirt situation his first year, so I think they're going to keep RG3 and try to coach him up with both quarterbacks.
Okay. Since we're talking about quarterbacks, you got the number 1 pick, Baker. They said he's already going to sit for the year. I was reading a couple of reports, just random stuff, people, on Yahoo, ESPN, and stuff like that. They feel like Baker should start. How do you feel about that?
Oh, man, I don't like that. Listen, here's the thing. You traded to get a Pro Bowl quarterback. People say, oh, yeah, Tyrod, he's not that good, this and that. Listen, Pro Bowl, voted on by the fans, blah, blah, blah. Listen, the dude don't turn the ball over. He keeps the ball. He got Buffalo to the playoffs with not so many weapons when you look at the roster. I think you give Tyrod the nod, let him get Baker, coached up as far as learning defenses and making the reads. I think you go with Tyrod, the experienced dude, and see what happens. Tyrod's not going to – why not? You traded to get him. You know what I mean? Tyrod's not going to put you in a situation – he never has put you in a situation where you're like, wow, we're in a bad spot. He's not going to turn the ball over. And now he's got more weapons than he ever had. So I think you got to go with Tyrod to start. Now, if it is looking rough, obviously, make the change if you want to see what Baker's going to do. But I don't see how Baker automatically. Don't get me wrong, he did shine, but he was supposed to shine when he was playing. He was coming in playing
Second,
third string, fourth string, second string. When he came in when Tyrod hurt his hand, I can't think off the top of my head who that game was against. But boom, he was going against them starters, and he threw that interception. So
well,
nerves. It could have been nerves. It could have been a lot of things. But yeah, I hope Baker after going against the defenses he did in college, I hope he could ball against the fourth string, third string dudes that are more than likely most of them are making the team. I would hope he's balling.
Well, to bring up that interception he threw when Tyrod got hurt, I mean, if you watch the replay, there might have been some defensive pass interference because they did kind of pick his tight end. So, I mean, you got to – it is part of the game, but it's one of those things where before we, I want to sit down, watch the film, press instant replay on the Madden, and see how everything breaks down and stuff like that. But
so who would you start? Are you saying you would go Baker?
Oh, no.
Okay, so you would still roll Tyrod?
For the same reasons you listed. If I trade for you, that means, one, I like you. Because that means I had to give up a pick, which could have been, I don't know, maybe a Tom Brady pick. He could have been that Tom Brady of the draft. He could have been that guy that just really, we got him at really late, boom. But to trade for Tyrod, you got to let him start. And I agree with them letting Baker sit, even though he was the number one pick. Give him time to develop. Let's take the Aaron Rodgers plan with him. Give him a couple years and then let him get in there. Because if you throw him in there now, I think he could handle it, but I don't think he would thrive. I feel like he would look good for maybe 2 plays, and then you would see the game just okay, now they switched up the defense on me.
The flip side, the other parts of what you're saying is Baker did play these preseason games, and even like I said, he came in and he did get a little time with the starters. Here's the part he hasn't done. In his division, he hasn't won against that Baltimore defense twice yet. He hasn't won against Pittsburgh where he had to play in Pittsburgh. He hasn't won against a Cincinnati defense that don't give a damn about your health, that'll just hurt you. He hasn't been there. And Tyrod hasn't either, but he's been in NFL division games. He knows what it's like. He knows that those games are harder than, if you're just playing a normal team. He's been in battles with New England where, he's keeping it interesting, where he's actually pushing against Tom Brady, where, Baker hasn't been in that situation. Now, that's a different game, playing a divisional game, versus just a regular season game. He hasn't done that yet.
Of course. I mean, that's the best thing to do for him. Yeah, because I feel like if you throw him out there now, you'll end up with a Tim Couch situation. I don't know if any fans remember when the Browns came back, they took him first out of Kentucky. And he just got rocked. I mean, David Carr, Derek's older brother, went number 1 for the Texans. Got rocked and just was never the same. So, I mean, granted, those two were expansion teams and stuff like that. Very rarely do we see quarterbacks just come in and just blow it up. Normally we see it year 2 when they're oh, this is what we got. Okay. So.
Check me out, brother. How you feel about this? Jalen Ramsey saying 6 months and you can lock him in for the NHL. Playing hockey. Professional level hockey. 6 months.
You know who's going to get drug tested every day of the season? Jalen Ramsey. Because he's on that LeVar Ball kick. He's just saying things that he's out here losing his mind, being crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the confidence. I love the cockiness.
What about the comment? What about the other comment? How you feel about the Gronk? Let's tie them all together.
Yes, like we talked about earlier, Gronk has been bothered by DBs and stuff like that. But I mean, when Gronk is on, when he's doing his thing, that Patriots offense is unstoppable. I mean, he can do what he wants. But I really just, I guess I want to see Jalen come out here and back up what he's saying. Like if you're gonna call out Eli, if you're gonna call out, Flacco, if you're gonna call out all these quarterbacks who's been doing it for not a year, not 2 years, not three. They've been doing it for 10. They got Super Bowl rings. I got to see him come out here and back it up because I feel like people are going to test him.
Okay, here's my question to you: where do you rank him? Corners? Is he top 3, the top guy, top 10? Where do you put him in your corners?
I got to put him top 5. He's in the top 5 because you got.
So you wouldn't have him number 1 though?
No, Marcus Peters. A guy who's pretty much come into the league and just been doing it.
Sorry to interrupt you. Fans, if you want, please let us know your top corners. Who is the number 1 corner in the game? James, the reason I ask you your opinion on who the top corner is, because here's the thing. Yeah, you're on this top defense. You're locking it down. You're doing your thing. Here's the thing. Corners, there's only been a few corners who do it multiple years in a row. I want to see, just like you said, I want to see him do it again. For all the stuff he's talking, and he's talking different too than what Richard Sherman was doing. His is more reckless. Richard Sherman, he's more, he's more tactical with what he's saying. And he's gonna deliver some stingers to you, but he's more tactical. He's someone that's done it though, year after year after year. Obviously, had the injury, but man.
So
I need him to show me. Because I want to see. Okay, I want to see you. I want to see you try to press this man Gronk and show me that you're going to do this and stop him and hold him, because Gronk's had his way with pretty much who he wants.
Just to throw something out there, looking at Bleacher Report, they got the top 10 corners, and Jalen's at number 7. They've got AJ Boye, his own teammate, number 1. Casey Hayward of the Chargers, 2. Marshawn Lattimore of the Saints, number 3. William Jackson III of the Bengals, 4. Darius Slay of Detroit, number 5. They got Talib of the Rams at 6. Then Jalen. So, you're not even the best corner. You're not even thought of as the best corner on your team.
We got Burndown Wilson here. Derek, what happened? Did the Giants take a nap on the play against the Patriots? Just wondering if you saw the play. Absolutely. I seen that quarterback. I think it was like a 75-yard run.
86. 86.
Yeah, or was it 86? I knew it was something
86.
Here's the deal. I wasn't. It didn't bother me.
Yeah, don't lie.
Everyone that played is hoping to even make the team. You're gonna have stuff like that happen when flag football is going on. I can live with that. Listen, given the Browns went 4-0 last year. You're gonna have stuff like this happen. But what happened in the regular season? So it's all right. Yeah, we let this backup quarterback, make his little shine in there. Now do that against our starting defense. Do that versus our starting defense, and then you'll impress me.
You know what he's gonna do?
Yeah.
He's gonna go home, get on Madden, adjust his speed real quick.
He was running like he had to make a drop in New York. See, y'all hurtful, man. Y'all hurtful.
Sir.
He was running. He was running like he knew how to protect that ball, though. You notice he didn't fumble like Cam would have.
Sir,
he knew how to actually secure the ball when he was running.
Sir, that's unnecessary. We were talking about the Giants. There's no need to turn this around to Carolina, sir. That is disrespectful.
I'm sorry. Getting back to the point, who was the number one corner they have? I'm sorry.
A.J. Boye, his own teammate.
Now, are these? I'm just curious. Do you know? Are these rankings coming out after the season last year, or does it? I don't know if it has a date.
So, the 2017. So just they're using the 2017 stats to get this, to make this ranking. But still, if you're not even the number one corner on your team, I feel like, don't get me wrong. Do I think he's like 1A? Yes. But he's not 1. There's not a 1 and then a letter after it. There, you gotta chill out. You gotta take a seat, stop being LeVar Ball, and take a break.
So I did pretty much what you did. I'm on NFL Network's top. This is coming from James Jones, NFL.com analyst. I'm gonna just go give you a few of his top, because it is a different list. He's got number 1, Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Rhodes is number 1. After that, number 2, Jalen Ramsey, Jaguars. Number 3, Patrick Peterson. Number 4, Casey Hayward. Number 5, and I like this one, Richard Sherman. See, I think a lot of people don't realize. I think Richard Sherman is going to come back and be the Richard Sherman we know. I don't think he's going to struggle. I mean, last year with the injury, he was doing good. He's had time to recover. Yes, we've seen players re-injure injuries, but I mean, I've been watching this little special they have on him, and his training's been great. He's been pushing it. I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that this appears to be a situation where he's going to re-injure it. I think we're going to see Richard Sherman up old. And if you remember, the 49ers in the offense last year, turning around towards the end, might have played into this. But that 49ers defense towards the end of the year looked pretty solid. I mean, I think this is going to be a good year for Sherman.
I hope so. I mean, I hope he comes back. I mean, we've got a couple of minutes, so let's throw it to the fans. I mean, do y'all have any questions?
Yes.
Anything y'all want us to talk about?
We're turning the mic over to you guys. Basketball questions, anything you want. Baseball. I did just see my Yankees make a move. We got McCutcheon coming over. We picked him up. I'm excited for that. We need some help out there. Tennis. Hit us up with the Did you see? How'd you feel about that comment? Oh, man, where did I see that? Where it was said that if Serena Williams was a man, it wouldn't even be a question. She would be the best athlete. Serena was a male. She would be the best athlete. How do you feel about that statement?
First off, I think we need to get away from the male, who is the best male, who is the best female athlete. We need to get more into the who is the best athlete. Because if we keep adding the gender connotation to this argument, we're never going to truly have an answer. Because Serena, is a great athlete. Muhammad Ali, great athlete. Michael Jordan, great athlete. LeBron James, great athlete. Let's just say, okay, let's start looking at it as athletes. Let's not use the male, female, because I feel like when we start throwing that in there, as soon as we say such and such is a great female athlete, we automatically back away from the idea that she could be better than Michael Jordan, or she could be better than Kobe, because we automatically think, well, she's a girl. She can't be the greatest athlete of all time because she's a girl. So overall, if we take...
I'm sorry not to interrupt, but I want to make sure I threw out the respect. It was Stephen A. that made the post on his show saying it wouldn't even be a question.
To me, Serena is a generational athlete, regardless of what you want to think about her. I know a lot of people got she's a dude joke or whatever. Fine, live under that rock. I have no respect for you. But she is a generational athlete. She will be discussed as one of the greatest athletes of our time. She has to be, regardless of how you feel about her. She's done things that, I mean, she's done things that people have thought were impossible. She is a great athlete. I feel like she deserves and she needs to be in the conversation of generational athlete. I feel like she needs to be up there. She needs to be in that conversation. We need to get rid of that. She's a female. Serena Williams, generational athlete. To me, one of the greatest athletes of all time. Has to be. You can't take that away from her.
I like what you're saying. Yeah, here's the thing. It's tough. It's tough because it's 2018 and we're still now. We have people still thinking in this manner where it's like, okay, hey, she's a girl. What if she played tennis though versus a male? Stop it. I mean, when you make that comment alone, you're trying to take away from all of her accomplishments. Like, oh yeah, she did do that, but if she did it versus a guy, could she do it? Listen, her serve's not changing. She's still bringing that heat.
Yes, right? Sir.
And if you got a guy on that side and he can't get there, guess what? That's a point. Her placement is unbelievable. I think I'm more shocked that it's 2018. We're in a time frame where we have females running to become president, but yet we're so against just letting the women come up and have their shine. Like, we got to get past this, man. We got to move on. I mean, Serena is unbelievable. She's amazing. She's unbelievable. She's amazing. Second to none. I mean.
By the way, Serena and Venus both play tonight, so if y'all got some free time, I will go watch them. It's going to be a great match. Love watching the Williams sisters get together. Brings back the good days. Good memories when everything was right. They're going to be playing tonight. But
yes.
Another to build up on this topic that we're talking about right now. WNBA players, if you haven't watched a game, if you think because it's women's basketball, if you think it's not entertaining, it's not worth watching, I highly disagree with you. With watching them, you get to see the fundamentals more, and I think that's what we need to see. That's what we need to get back to teaching. We need to stop letting the kids think that the James Harden 15 baby step back is good basketball. We need to stop letting people think that whatever this new thing where they'll swipe under and get the call, you got to stop that. Because I think the women need the respect because they play just as hard as the men. They have to play. I mean, they pretty much have to come out there and earn their respect, and they do it. I forget who made the comment. I think it was the current MVP of the WNBA. I apologize. I should know this. But she was like, we barely make, $100,000 or something. She threw it out there. But you got scrubs like Tyler Johnson making $20 million. And it comes down to it's just because he's a guy. We need to stop that. We need to put respect on female athletes for what they do, what they accomplish. They train just as hard as their male counterparts, maybe even harder. They have to deal with more. So I'm gonna get off this soapbox, but hey, if you see a female athlete out there, don't look down at her. Don't say, you're not good enough because you're female. Hey, tell her congratulations for doing what you do. Give them a big prop.
I wanted to play this one little clip with us getting ready to end. This is LeBron James. If you don't know, he's got a show out, The Shop. I just want to end it pretty much with this and get your feelings on how you feel about this. By the way, you definitely have the fans supporting what you're saying. But here we go, LeBron James.
In the barbershop, there's going to be one guy that's not even going to get a haircut. You've been here since 8 a.m. You still ain't got your haircut.
That means a lot to me. Black people are more respected outside of America than they are in America.
That's interesting.
Oh, that's a fact.
Now kids can look up and be like, what LeBron said. No matter how much influence you think you got in America, you African American, it doesn't matter.
Humankind is tribal in nature. What would unite us as people? Fucking aliens came.
That's the clip. If you haven't seen the show or heard about it, it's definitely awesome. I like that LeBron's, he's challenging things, and I like that. He's using the platform that we've seen the NFL pretty much not want you to do. The NBA, by the way, has been okay with their players doing it, using shirts and all these other props, if you will. But I like the fact that he created his own TV show. It's The Shop. Setting takes place inside of a barbershop. And it's pretty much guys talking. Oh, well, there's females in episodes, but, it's how guys talk in the barbershop about sports typically. But I like the fact that he challenges things. And I think it's important in the time right now. The one on that episode, that clip, it cuts it short, but where he talks about being African American, I believe it's on Everything Sports if y'all want to check that out. He goes on to say that if a white quarterback was walking down the street and people kept trying to stop him and said, hey, let me get a picture, he said if it was Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and he said, hey, I'm with my effing family, not now, they would say, in his opinion, he says, hey, this is Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, it's okay. He went on though and said, but if this was one of our black quarterbacks or black athletes, that this would be an issue. Now, regardless of how you feel, I just can appreciate the fact that he's challenging things, and getting things that need to be talked about out there. So big ups to LeBron James, man.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. Big ups to LeBron James, challenging things, doing big things and stuff like that. Challenging the culture that we live in, trying to get people to think outside of their comfort zones, think outside the box. Have a intelligent conversation about what they see instead of reverting back to what they've been taught or what they've learned through negative experiences and stuff like that, using that or just using all that. Big ups to him. And I think we're going to end the show on this note. Do not allow the mindset that you've been taught or the mindset that you've grown to know stop you from allowing your mind to grow. Because I feel like we have a lot of that going on. So that's my piece. I hope you take that with you. I hope that maybe opens some of the fans' eyes to like new experiences. Maybe they talk to somebody different. They would just reach out to somebody. But I'm gonna go ahead and end my little piece on that. I'm gonna throw it back to you if you got anything you want to add.
Man, it's been fun. Please make sure you guys go support Everything Sports. We got our drafts tonight in fantasy football. Every draft we're doing, we have trophies in 2 leagues. We got a money league. Please come join Everything Sports. It's a blast. Please like, comment, and share this video once it gets posted. Love you guys, man.
All right.